Ow. Let me do that again. Hold up. There. That was way better. Good day and hello, my sweet little ventricles. Welcome back. Now, if you haven't guessed from the title, let me just reiterate the purpose of this video to you. I essentially fell into a really deep rabbit hole. So it all started with type rush. Now, me and my friends, we're simple-minded people. We all essentially share a half brain cell, all three of us together. And we enjoy type rush, okay? During our free time when we have nothing better to do, we essentially just play. And it gives us so much joy. And so began the initial rabbit hole, just figuring out how to even exceed 80 words per minute, which felt really impossible. A bunch of the videos that I watched on YouTube, almost everyone, in every video, there are birds. Every single person that I found on YouTube essentially has clicky keyboards and they type really fast. Except for this guy. I don't really think that we can trust him whatsoever, so let's just disregard that. I first started with the Logitech K380, and let's be real here, it was really painful. So the rabbit hole went on to figuring out which pre-built mechanical keyboard I wanted to buy. I really wanted the Amp Pro 2, or maybe some Keychron ones, but being the broke bench that I am, if you don't know the meaning of bench, you better watch The Good Place. All 4 seasons are available on Netflix. It's really good. And then we can talk further after. But because I was really broke, I had to stick with the RK68. The rabbit hole doesn't really end there. It doesn't. Once you've already fallen deep into the rabbit hole of picking out which pre-built mechanical keyboards, there's also a deeper rabbit hole of customizing, or what we call modding, that keyboard, and then even making your own custom built mechanical keyboard that's really expensive. It makes you want to sell your kidneys. And the chances are, if you are my subscriber and you clicked on this video, maybe you've already fallen into the rabbit hole and you sort of want to know more about it. But there's also a very big chance that there are a lot of you who haven't fallen deep into the rabbit hole. And the thing is, I want you here with me. We want you here with me. And we all have to suffer in this inescapable rabbit hole together. So let me show you how I modded my RK68. So I had initially modded my keyboard, and all I did was actually put dampening foam at the bottom. I lubed the switches, also fixed the stabilizers, and then I also put Band-Aid just to make sure that the stabilizers were a bit more stable. And I actually posted this on my Instagram, and weirdly, people were very much into it for some apparent reason that I can't really tell whatsoever. People who I don't really know, or people I don't even talk to, they just randomly messaged me, and it was really weird, but people were into it. But now we're actually going to attempt a deeper mod. So the first thing we have to do is to actually dismantle the keyboard. My dad bought me this really convenient tool with a bunch of screw inserts for reasons I could never understand, but it was really helpful. I don't know where he got this. I will try to link everything below, but if I can't find it, I'm really sorry. I apologize in advance. So removing the plate mount stabilizers are actually pretty simple. They're sort of a pin that you just have to push up or down, and it'll help you release the stabilizers. After that, just unscrew the plate and PCB from the body of your keyboard and put foam in it. Now as you see, I already had put foam, but if you haven't, then just put it. But for me, I don't have to do it. So the biggest thing we're actually going to do is to replace our switches. My keyboard initially had these red switches that I don't know if they are TTC or some kind of other brand that Royal Clutch has on their own. I really can't tell. I'm sorry, I'm pretty bad at this. What can I say? So we're gonna replace them with some Gateron Milky Yellows. Now, according to my research, aka the videos that I've consistently watched for about a month and a half, if you don't mind the clicky clacky sound, then normal Gateron Yellows will work for you. The one with a black housing, whatever. But if you want a deeper sound, just slightly deeper from the normal ones, just get Gateron Milky Yellows. Everything will be linked down below. Now for the switches, we're actually going to lube these with Krytox 205 grade 0. Now I don't really have a lubing station because, again, I'm broker than ever. So I just use the PCB and plate of my keyboard and I just put it on top of something. But do this at your own risk because I'm not sure if it actually damages your keyboard or not. But it didn't for me, so maybe you could do it if you don't want to buy a lubing station. Now for lubing the switches, I actually followed Keycaps' tutorial. I will link it down below. And I just deposit a small amount of lube on the feet first, and then after that I spread it around the feet, making sure that there is a very clean sort of layer of lube on the feet first, and then after that I go around the bottom. And then I also lube the feet of the things because that's really where a lot of friction goes into, if that makes sense. I'm actually a little slight bit over lube my switches because I like my switches soggy. I like everything soggy, like my cereals, Oreos, French fries. Everything soggy just makes everything better. But if you don't want that, less is more. Just think of that, less is more. But for me, I like it a little over. Just a little bit. Now for bag lubing, you just want to get any type of Ziploc thing. I just use the one that already came with the packages because we don't have Ziploc bags. I just want to use Krytox 105 grade 0, and you just want to maybe put around 1 to 2 drops. It's really up to your preference. I actually put 3. You will understand later on. Now I just want to shake this for roughly a minute. I actually did it more because it was my first time and I didn't want to mess it up, so we have that. Now you want to get tweezers. I didn't really have those really epic cool tweezers that other people use, so I just used one from wherever I could find here at home. It's actually really hard to untangle springs, so you will be very tempted to just use your fingers, and I'll tell you, go ahead. It makes things easier. That's why I also put extra drop of lube in there. But if you have the patience, go ahead. I don't, so you do you. Now we're gonna get a stem holder, and then the way I also lube the stems, again, Teha types. You just want to deposit on the feet first, so on the narrower sides, and then deposit on the side that has the protruding feet, and then the one that's just really plain. And then you just want to spread it out. Order here is very important when you're gonna start spreading the lube. Start first with the feet, and then make sure that you get the bottom, and then go to the one without the protruding feet, and then go to the other side, and then the one that has a protruding thing. I'm so sorry about this. Just go watch Teha types this video. It's really easier. You'll understand it way better. I also put leftover lube from my brush on the top parts, so also around this crater, if you would call it that, and then the tippy top tip. Now we're also gonna put desk keys switch films. I didn't have switch films before because I thought it was too expensive, but honestly, now that I've been using my keyboard for a while, it's really worth it. You just have to be really patient with it. It does add up time to the modding process, but it's really worth it. I actually really like it. Now for the stabilizers, we had to replace them, so we're gonna replace them with these Durock plate mount stabilizers. Now as you can see, the stabilizers still have fangs, and I actually have 2 methods to this. So the first method just includes whatever scissors you have, and you just wanna remove all that you can, but then you will see that there is still some remaining. So what you wanna do is actually sand that. And there's another method that I just found out recently, and it's using nail clippers or nail cutters. And if you still have some remaining plastic, you just gotta sand it, and it's really simple. Now for lubing the stabilizers, you wanna lube the housing first. So what I do is again deposit on the horizontal sides first, and then I do the left, and then the back, and then the right, and then the front. Now with putting dielectric grease on the metal stem thingies of the stabilizers, really up to you. You can just eye it. I think that the more you actually mod stabilizers, the more you're gonna have a feel of how much more you want to put. So I'm actually very generous because again, I like things a little soggier because over time, it does go back to normal, if that makes sense. Now to assemble, you just want to put back the stem into the housing, and just remember that 2 holes has to face the one where the metal goes in, and then the one with the 1 hole faces the back. Now you always want to test out your stabilizers first, so just try it first just to get a feel. If you need to add more dielectric grease, then just go ahead and dismantle it whatsoever. Now for the keycaps, I actually initially wanted to buy these other keycaps, but these were so expensive I actually wanted to sell my kidneys. And I was frankly quite set on the idea. I was ready to sell my kidneys, to be honest. It's just that the beauty of these keycaps and the colors are well worth my 1 kidney. And so I ventured on the market value of kidneys nowadays, and not bad at all. But then I had to take a step back into reality because I realized that I did have a dilemma. That I don't actually know how to remove my kidneys, or I didn't know how to take them out. But I mean, I could always ask the internet. But at the same time, I had another dilemma because I didn't actually have access to that type of kidney market. But if you do, just let me know. But nonetheless, I still bought a cheaper keycap set in order to save and reserve my kidneys for a GMK set maybe in the future. Who knows? Maybe the market value of kidneys will grow indeed. And now that everything's done, honestly, I'm pretty proud of this keyboard. Although one critique that I will give to myself in modding this keyboard is that the stabilizers still aren't very great. I don't know what's going on. I did a bunch of research. There still is a weird type of rattle to it, which I really don't like, but I just gave up after an hour or so because I really did not know how to fix it. Maybe the actual wires of the stabilizers aren't perfectly aligned, but I couldn't be bothered to open it up again and then remove the lube and then align it again. Or maybe it's the keycaps, maybe they're not perfectly flat. I really don't know. But if you hear it, just let me know how I could potentially fix it, because I'm running out of ideas. But without further ado, here is the awaited before and after typing test, and thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you on the other side of the rabbit hole. Just let me know if you've already fallen into the rabbit hole. I need friends to talk to me about keyboards, so just let me know.